We're going to make wind chimes, and you can use a lot of different things, and I'll talk or show you more about that. Right now I'm just using a little cup. So what I do is just take a punch and I'm gonna make holes, 4 holes. And then for the top, I'll probably do something different for that, but when we get to that part. So you can use a lot of different things. For this particular one, I am going to use wooden beads and other different beads. It doesn't really matter what you use. You just want to make sure whatever you do use, it's big enough to thread your item through. A couple different things that you can use while you're threading them is like the dull needle. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, and you can just thread. And as long as your hole to your beads are big enough, you shouldn't have a problem threading things. Or what I have done also is to keep it kind of from fraying, kind of make your own little needle with Scotch tape. And you just want to place it over the end of the yarn or whatever you're using. Just kind of fold it. And you can create kind of a needle. It just makes it a lot easier to thread items. And there again, you just want to make sure your holes are wide enough to slide through there. And it just makes it easier. So first of all, to get started, and I'm going to, you can use many different things. You can have keys, you can have bolts, you can have washers on your end. I'm going to use some little bells. So what I'm going to do here, I have, this is going to be my end, so I am going to knot this up. And you can always, once you knot stuff too, you can always add a little bit of like super glue just to make sure the knot stays in place. I'm going to do a 3 or 4 knots just to make sure it doesn't unravel. Okay, I'm going to trim up this little extra. But it's always a good idea. You could always add a little bit of super glue, probably a little dab of hot glue or something, Elmer's glue, just something, it just might help to keep the knot there. Okay, so now I'm ready to make my design. So you can kind of decide what you want. I have a variety of different beads here. I think I might work with some wooden beads. So I'm just gonna grab some beads. And I have a variety of colors, and I'm just gonna thread them on here. And you can, and I'm gonna do 4 of these. And you can make different designs you want on each strand. They don't all have to be alike. If you want to use up some beads. Should maybe get these, some of these done so we don't have to sit there and watch them all. Okay. And you can keep checking it. You can kind of hold it up to here. I think that's a good length. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add just one more. Put it right there. Alright, so now you see I have my holes punched. So I'm just going to thread this in through here, and I'm just going to tie some knots. And you're going to want to get it a little bit closer. Now you do have a hot glue gun. I might just dab a little bit of hot glue around there, just to help keep it. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to do my second one. Thread it through here. Because I'm not, you can do them exactly the same. I'm really not. I'm just, each one's going to be their own unique kind of shape. I just want to make sure I get it like the same length though. You kind of keep an eye on that because the beads are all, you know, different, so you can't like count this unless you did them exactly the same. And that's pretty close, so I'm just gonna try that and try and get it as close as I can. Get these as perfect as, they're not going to be perfect, but so now we're going to do the hanging part. So what I'm going to do for that, place this down, try to center it as well as I can, eyeball it kind of. I'm going to make incision, kind of crisscross. This is going to be my center one, and I'm not going to worry about the, I just might make it a little shorter just to give it a different dimension length. So if this one's a little shorter, that's okay. It's going to be in the center. So this is going to be your 5th strand, and like I said, it's going to be a little shorter one. a little bit shorter. Not a lot, but a little bit. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, I'm going to poke it through here. Then I'm going to bring this back, and I might just poke it right through there, not through the same hole, but in a little different area. And then, depending on the length that you want to use to hang it, I'll leave that there. This gets a little tricky. So then, honestly, I would use a washer, but they might not have a washer. You know, so I am going to tie a knot. You want to be careful that you don't, when you're tying the knot, that you're not pulling the you can see that. Then I am going to add some glue in here. I'm going to add quite a bit so I can glue that whole area down. Just some extra. Press that down, let it dry for a few minutes. This is your finished project. Tops that you can use depending on what you have at home. This is for like embroidering or needlepoint. You can buy them very cheap at Hobby Lobby. You can use this as your top. If you have craft sticks, this one's painted. You could also use this as a top. And then if you just have a plastic lid, works really well. You can use those, the top. Or if you have just some extra sticks at home, a little better. This is just a stick that I painted, and I added some buttons on the end. And these will also work if you want to hang them down instead of using keys or washers or beads. This one is beads with the miniature flower pots, and you can paint them or you can leave them that color.